All right. And with that, let's begin our webinar, guys. So first of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Mai, and I've been with Nexford for over 2 years now, actually nearing almost 3 years, as old as Nexford, I would say. And during my years with Nexford so far, I've spoken with so many learners around the world. And one of the most common questions I get is, how exactly will I be studying online at Nexford? You know, how is the Nexford online learning experience? That's really why we're here today. And I've got some great people with me. I've got Dr. Bill Reed from our faculty at Nexford, two learners. We've got Chino Macalis from the Philippines, and we've got Ini Abimbola from Nigeria. So I would love for you guys to introduce yourselves as well. Let's start with Chino. If you can also tell us, if you can also tell us what program you're studying.
Okay. Hello, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everyone. So my nickname is Chino. I'm currently taking my MBA. So I started last year around April, taking some pre courses, heading to the main course of the program. So far I'm enjoying it and I'm loving it. I currently work for an insurance industry here in the Philippines, where I serve as an IT product owner, and I enjoy every bit of it because it's very much relevant to the course of my work, and I'm able to apply as early as I think around the first or second course. I was able to learn a lot and apply it to my work. So yeah.
That's perfect. Thanks a lot, Chino. Can you please also introduce yourself and what program you're studying or have studied, Ini?
Okay, hello everyone. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes.
My name is Ini Abimbola. I just graduated from the MBA class from Nexford University. Before then, I just completed the BBA. So it's a pleasure to be here and to share my experience with the learners that are still on course. So thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot, Ini. And by the way, guys, this is a rarity that we have a learner on board with us, like on a webinar that's studied both a BBA and an MBA with Nexford, so that's incredible. All right, Dr. Bill, can you please also introduce yourself?
Thanks, May. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's good to be here with all of you. It's always a pleasure to meet some new people as you're thinking of moving into a degree program. My name is Dr. Bill. I live in the United States. I live about 100 kilometers south of New York City, right along the coastline. I have been teaching online for many, many years, over 20, and I've enjoyed it much more than I've ever enjoyed classroom teaching, which is where I started off. I teach in the business program, so when you join us, you will have a good chance of seeing me in one of the early courses that you'll be taking. I do the 6100 course, which many people take. And I'm here today just to say hello, welcome, and show you a few things about the course room, and let you know that if you have the desire to learn, you have the desire to achieve an MBA, this is an excellent place to try to do that. You get a lot of support. May's going to go over some of the things with you that are afforded to all of you as learners and students here. And even though it's a global platform, we talk individually too, so you're not left alone at any time. So I'll let May go on with the program, and I'll talk to you in a few minutes.
All right, thanks a lot, Dr. Bill. Okay, with that, let me share my screen, guys. All right, so what you guys are looking at here is, first of all, I would love to tell you guys, like, I'm really excited to share that we've recently partnered with Canvas as our new online LMS, or learning management system. So that's known to be adopted by top universities like Harvard and Oxford. And so I'm sure our learners are really going to agree that it's making for a much smoother online learning experience. So let me show you today how it works, as well as some of its great features. So notable to mention as well is there's a Canvas mobile app. There's an application, which means that you don't only need a PC or a laptop to do your studying at Nexford. You can also access this on an application on your mobile phone. So of course, I will give you a tour of that as well towards the end of our webinar today. All right, so let me start to tell you about some of the features here. And also for those that are just joining us, don't worry, we only just got started. And this is also being recorded, so you will be sent a recording of this webinar, after it's done, maybe towards the end of the week or within a day or so. So don't worry at all. You can always watch this again. Right, and please make sure to send in any questions you have to the Q&A box so we can get to your questions at the end of the webinar. Right, and with that, so what you see in front of you are what courses you would be enrolled in at Nexford. So just to let you know, you can enroll in more than one course at the same time, and that allows you to complete your program at a much faster pace. Of course, it depends on so many things. It depends on your goals. It depends on your schedule, and of course how many courses and how difficult they might be depending on the program that you've chosen. But definitely you'll never feel alone at Nexford, and I'll tell you guys all about the support that you would be receiving as well while going through your program. But let's talk just about the different features here on the main page. So you might see that these are colored differently. So a little fun thing that you can do is actually there's this color overlay you can choose. And this way you can just differentiate between the courses. You can even select your own color for each course. So where does this really make a difference? I would say the biggest difference is it kind of applies on the calendar. So you do have a calendar that you can access here. If you click on that, it'll take you to this page, and it shows you all the different reminders that are connected to the courses that you're enrolled in at Nexford. So that's why you'll see that they vary in color, which is completely up to you. Of course, you can always add your own event in the calendar. So if you want to add a quick note, you can do so here. You can even add an assignment. You can do a to-do. There's so much that you can do. And if you want it to be more detailed, you have the option, of course, of making it as detailed as you want. So it'll take you to this page where you can write so much more. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, if you do happen to have the mobile app, a great thing is that, of course, it's going to be the calendar. You're going to be able to connect it also to your phone. So that way you'll always get a reminder of, any assignment or anything, no matter where you are. Right, and on the left side here is what we would call the navigation pane. So you'll find some very basic, easy to learn things such as, an overview of your courses. So through this, you're going to see all the courses that you're enrolled in. And there's an inbox also. Let me show you that. The great thing about the inbox, and it's one of our, more exciting new features of this learning management system, is that it's the easiest way that you can now connect to your faculty, to your professor, to anybody on our team. Basically, you can even write a new, compose a new message and reach out to another learner. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. So you can reach out to another learner. So you're going to be able to see that through the course that you're enrolled in, you can select specific learners that are in the same course, and then simply send them a message. And it's the fastest way that you can, connect with anybody and get feedback right on the spot. Right, and let me also show you guys. So history is one of the neat things I would say also about Canvas, is that if you've been navigating, maybe all day you've been studying, this is a great way to kind of see your recent history and all the different places that you went to throughout the day on the platform, so you can just easily get back. And again, over here, as I mentioned, these are courses you're enrolled in. So I mentioned that you can enroll in more than one course at the same time. So the maximum would be 4 courses at the same time, right? And there's something called NXU Orientation as well as Writing Lab. So it's important to note that these two aren't actually Nexford courses that are in the program that you've chosen. So the orientation is more of a welcome package. So as soon as you get enrolled at Nexford, you get access to this 5 days before your chosen program start date. And so 5 days before your chosen start date, not only do you have access to orientation, but you also get to meet your success advisor, which is what we, basically would call someone who is like your mentor or your coach. They're there to help you throughout your program, especially in the first few months. And I'll get into that a little more later on today. As for the Writing Lab, like I said, it's also not a course. It's rather a resource that you'll always have access to. So this is here because we understand that not everybody is a natural born writer, and especially for the type of assignments you're having at Nexford, you might find some things, a little challenging. So this totally helps you with, academic writing. You get to learn something called APA formatting. So this certainly helps you with the kind of assignments you're getting throughout your program. You also get to meet our writing lab coach, Caroline Fernandez, and you can book a one-on-one meeting with her. So I'll tell you guys more about that later, but let's first jump into the NXU orientation. So if I were to click on that here, I'm going to show you guys how it looks like on the inside. All right, so you get to see, an overview of all the modules in the course as such. But I want to mainly take you guys to module 1. And so, like I said, the orientations it will tell you everything you need to know to get started at Nexford. So who to reach out to, how to reach out to them. It'll teach you how to go through, of course, the platform. It'll tell you all the basics. You have a whole university starter kit as well. And right from the beginning, you even get a welcome video from our CEO and founder, Fadil Tarzi. I've opened actually the module onto a new page, which is an option you can have if you would rather not have, the sort of minimized look. Open it here, and then you can have it much more full screen. So I'd love to play this welcome video from our CEO for a few seconds.
It's been said that the future is a convenient place for dreams, so why not dream big? I've always known education changes lives, but I first realized its impact over a decade ago. On my entrepreneurial journey, I saw a gap between the skills of college graduates and the needs of employers. With my own startups, I struggled to find people with the right competencies. For example, I couldn't find a software engineer with effective communication skills. I couldn't find the creative designers who...
So that's just a little sneak peek for you guys. But what I'd love to say is this is just a small example of the different type of dynamic elements through which you're going to be studying Nexford. So you're going to find videos, you're going to find audio clips, blog length articles. There are going to be even external resources where you're going to have to go to, websites or maybe YouTube or other places outside of the platform as well. So we make sure to always keep you engaged. And you'll see after the video, you can actually have the option to email the CEO directly. And this sort of shows how, I would say, transparent the Nexford family is. And that is what we call ourselves. And once you start studying with us, you'll see that you can really get connected with anybody in our team, whether it's our marketing team or our success team, faculty, there's always somebody you can reach out to. For every video, you'll also find a video transcript, so a written transcript for that, which can be really helpful. And as you go through the introduction of the orientation, we'll start to introduce to you guys what the learning communities are at Nexford. So you can learn more about that. So learning communities are actually on a platform called Localize, which is one of the many offerings we have. And I'll discuss that with you guys at the end. But the great thing about it is that you can get connected with other learners. You can join specific communities, as you can see, that are focused on specific areas throughout your program. And of course, there are learner WhatsApp groups. So this is one of our, I think, most common requests as well. How can I get connected with other learners? Or let's say I want to talk with specific learners that are joining my same cohort. So the great thing that a lot of these are country specific. Some of them are program specific, and some of them are actually as well intake specific. So let's say you're starting in March, you can join a WhatsApp group that's specific to March learners. We also have peer mentors. So this is a program where you get to actually choose a mentor or get connected with a mentor, which is a fellow Nexford learner. So you guys are a lot of different ways that can help you right from the start, and you will know exactly where to go to access all of this. If All right, so that's a sneak peek, you guys, of the orientation. Now I want to go back and show you guys one of our MBA courses, actually, which is called Leadership and Organizational Development. And if ever you're starting a course, it's due to start at the beginning of next month, and you want to know who the actual professor for the course is, the great thing is you can always go to the People tab. You get to even see who the learners that are enrolled are, as well as who your professor is. And through here, you should be able to also send them a message. So the professor for this course, I talked to tell us a little bit about this course. Dr. Bill, would you like to jump in and tell us a bit about this course?
Sure, thank you. This is one of the courses that you'll have the opportunity to take when you join in. This is the platform, and as May mentioned, we are all new to this platform, so I'm on my 10th day of it. However, I've used it in other situations, so I'm a bit familiar with it. It's extraordinarily easy to use, which is why Nexford went to this particular platform. You can see here on the left all the areas and so on that encompass this course. So you could start with the modules, which you see here. Module 1 is about reinventing and challenging. You could click on that and you would go to the particular assignments and so on that would be pertaining to it. You have the assignment tab right here. And that will open up what is expected for you to do in this particular module. And it lists right through the course. There are basically 6 modules to each course. Very easy to see, very easy to understand. This particular one, module 2, is a case for change. You will open it up and you'll see it'll give you the instructions and what is expected for you to do. There are 2 options. This one, you can create a case and develop one for change following it. One of the best things that I would tell you right now, before you even start, is to always go and look at the rubrics. Now, I think they're loaded in this course. I'm not particularly sure. But what this rubric is a roadmap on how I'm going to grade your paper. So this is extraordinarily useful to you when you're doing any of the assignments, any of the courses here at Nexford, because it tells you what we're looking for. It's telling you what the instructor expects to see in your response. And the criteria here is on the left, and the various ratings are on the right. So if this particular student was to do exceptionally well in requirements, they'd get 20 points. You go through the rubric and you'll see that it comes down to the bottom, and this is the mechanical part. It'll calculate your grade that the instructor enters. On the very bottom is a place for comments where we can mention a few things we like about your paper. It's very good content. Maybe you need a little more APA style. Maybe you need additional references. But anyway, this is key to success in the course because it outlines the outcomes that we look to see in the paper. Very, very helpful. We also have a chat area. We have announcement areas that we can post messages. I use that fairly frequently. Reminders of assignments coming up and things like that. Your grades are visible to you here. I'll click on that. I don't know if there's anyone in there right now, but it'll show you the grade book on how you will see your grades and how they come back and how you can access your feedback. So May gave herself an A here. That's very good, May. Nice job. And you can click on this and the feedback will be in here from your instructor's opinion of what your work is. Canvas is one of the easiest user-friendly environments. It guides you through your learning. It shows you where you need to concentrate to achieve the outcomes for this assignment, which leads to the course, which leads to your overall program objectives. They're all tied together. And that's what makes this a successful program, because the learning that takes place, it's organized, it's worked out by a staff of people that do this for a living. They know how to present learning material. So, and May mentioned also here about the calendar, the inbox. The inbox is where we talk back and forth individually. You can have messages in there. May mentioned about the history. The dashboard shows you all your courses, but this is where your grades will appear and you can see how you're doing. Generally speaking, The university permits faculty 5 days to respond to your assignments with feedback. My personal goal is to do it in 2 days. I pretty much stick to that, but to be honest with you, when larger classes, when all the assignments comes in at once, I might go to 4 days or so, depending on the workload that comes in, and it fluctuates. So you will get feedback. If any time you need to contact the professor, the tools are here to do it in the inbox or that. And I will mention one other thing that maybe we'll probably mention later is you have the ability to meet one-on-one with your faculty and with your professor. It's one of my favorite things to do. I have a number of them today that I'll be meeting one-on-one for. If you can book a meeting with me or your professor, and we set a schedule, times are available. Normally we do it a couple days ahead, but emergencies come up, I'm always available, and I try to respond to you so I don't hold you up. So I think the key thing here is we provide a course room environment that's very, very compatible to learning. You have to bring the desire to learn. We can provide you what to learn to accomplish your goals in your program. And there's so many things to learn that you may not even think of. Right now, you're looking at what is the course, what's the content, what's the material we're going to talk about. Some of the biggest learnings occur between those. It's what you learn about yourself and what you learn about your capacities and your abilities. That's probably the biggest learning that people say, hey, I could really do this. It's not out of range for me. Maybe you don't write so well right now. As May mentioned, we have our writing coach to help you with that. Maybe you don't understand APA. Maybe you're not familiar with certain business concepts or theories. It's here. We put it together for you in a way that will permit you the time to do it online at whatever time of the day you want and whatever day you want to do it. I recommend as frequent contact with the material as possible for your work in your life. That seems to provide the greatest success for the students I work with. Now, emergencies come up, children, family, work, it happens. One of the key things about working in this environment is we can deal with that. It's not a showstopper. We can manage it. We can work through it. We have a support team called Success that can work with you. The faculty will work with you, and the entire organization is built around the success of you achieving what you want to do. The ingredient you bring is your desire and your ambition. The solutions we provide are listed in this course and the many, many other courses we list. If you get feedback that you don't feel is sufficient, let the professor know. We can go a little deeper. We can go explain it a little more. You may be doing things now that you didn't know you know. Often I get a message, oh, we've been doing that in my job for years. I didn't know it had a name. I didn't know it was called a particular theory or a particular business process. So much learning takes place aside from the nuts and bolts of the topic of the discussion or of the assignment. So I will kind of stop there. I got off my normal track a little bit, but having the ability to do this on your own schedule, on your own time, within reason. We have to move this along. There has to be academic standards involved, of course, which there are. And if you don't show up for a few days, you'll probably hear from me. Where are you? What's going on? You okay? You know, we understand internet around the world is different. We understand time zones are different. I've been working in multiple time zones for 20 years, and I still mess up on time and appointments. It happens. But those are minor things. Those are manageable. The important issues is that you're achieving the goals you want, the learning you need to whatever. We have people taking these courses just for the sake of learning. They may never use it in their business world. We have other people that are desperate to acquire the knowledge to move ahead in their jobs. We can accomplish that scope of learning for whatever your particular need may be. And if you want to be specialized, you can talk to your professor and we can maybe fine tune some things for you. So I'll stop there, May, and maybe there's some questions, or maybe our colleagues here on the stage will have something to say. But my message is, it's here if you want it. It's very doable. I use myself as an example. I never thought I'd be a professor or anything like that when I was much younger. So think about it. If we have any questions, we're going to have a question and answer period at the end of this session. So I look forward to your questions then. So thank you, May.
Dr. Bill, that was great. Yeah, definitely. So since we talked a lot about the online experience, I'd love to hear a bit from Chino actually. Can you tell us what is your studying style at Nexford? How do you manage?
Yeah, thanks, May. As a professional, right, I don't have all the time in the world to take full-time study and be ahead of all the courses. In fact, at the normal rate, I would only have 2 to 3 hours a day. And in most cases, sometimes I extend 4 hours or sometimes I spend an hour. So like what Dr. Bill said, it's really, really flexible. When you speak about learning, studying, reviewing, it's not like in the school that your schedules are fixed. You go up, go there, attend the class, and end the class, and then that's it. Here in Nexford, what I normally do is, of course, I prioritize my work. I do full time in my work, and then once in a while, when I have breaks or sometimes after office hours, I make sure that I'm able to cope up and catch up with the lessons. When it comes to taking notes, learning about things, the good thing about the Nextford is you can always come back for a particular lesson. So let's say, for example, I'm taking lesson module number 1. I'm having some difficulty trying to understand that, and I've already exhausted some options. I'll probably pause for a while, do something else, maybe play basketball, do some or I don't know, anything in between. And then once I'm energized, I'll continue studying. So that kind of flexibility is available anytime, anywhere. Um, when it comes to studying habits, I normally take down notes, not like putting it in a piece of paper, but I use the online tools of Nexford. So Nexford has the Office 365, which you can leverage. I take advantage of that. I use their SharePoint to save some of the files that I've been using as a reference. I also take snapshots. I take screenshots of some of the articles or even documentaries that a particular module is offering. And in most cases, also when it's really an interesting topic, I also bookmark it because I can always go back, like I mentioned. That's one of the cool things about Nexford. And when it comes to probably going through the courses, what I can advise to my fellow learners is, first of all, you need to read the course overview. When I always start to read or when I always start to go through a particular course, I make sure that I know what the overview of the module is, who's my upcoming professor, what's the background, and are there any tips and tricks that the professor is giving us up front, or are there also any watch outs announcements. So you have to be aware about that. For a particular learner like me who's not full-time, I need to make sure that I'm able to manage my time, and one of that is being aware about the deadlines. Like Dr. Bill has mentioned, each of these graded assignments all have deadlines. Some assignments or exercises don't have deadlines, and that helps you build up going through your case studies or your final assignments. So it's really cool. And it's up to the learner, right? Each one of us have different study styles, but at least on my end, it really works for me. I've always kept on saying about the word flexible because it really is, and I guess that's what I love about it. Thanks, May.
Amazing. Thanks a lot, Chino. All right, I'd love to hear from Ini also. Can you tell us some notable things about your experience studying at Nexford, as well as professor feedback and assignments?
Okay, so thank you, and it's a delight to be here. And I can see a lot of people asking if the recordings will be sent. I hope that it will, because I think that the timing didn't favor a lot of people who are still at work here in Nigeria. Okay, so I did the BBA, and immediately after that, I did the MBA. And I've seen a number of questions as well asking, how is it possible to finish your MBA in 4 months? And I like the answer that Janine gave. So my experience, and I'm sitting here looking at, the interface, the new Canva interface that May and Dr. Bill are showing, and I'm extremely jealous because this is so nice and this is so good and it's so easy. And this is not fair. How could you guys do this to us? because now I can actually see how, I'm doing on a course and, the grading, and I can quickly understand why, I'm not getting a particular grade that I'm looking forward to. So this new interface really, really is great. And I really want to encourage learners. So one of the things that, brought me to Nexford was, when the pandemic hit, I was wondering what I was going to be doing because, we had an announcement of lockdown for a couple of months. And I was wondering, what am I going to be doing? I'm quite restless and, so I saw this advert or this, postings and advertisements around Nexford. A number of influencers then were pushing it out. And I thought of doing an MBA straight away. So I went to the website, looked through the courses, and I found out that, I've had my first degree for over almost 30 years ago. And of course, the new courses, were things that we didn't even learn about. So whether you're talking about cybersecurity, whether you're talking about doing business across the regions, whether you're talking about business in China, and all of that, I just didn't understand it. There were issues around digital business, business analytics. And I thought, okay, so let me try doing a BBA so that I can even understand and enjoy the MBA. And I started. And of course, at first it was very tough because I've been out of school forever. It was tough. The assignment period were really close and tight. And then there are, six assignments for each course, So I kind of paced myself those first few months just to get a hang of how it worked. I had a problem with, the APA citations and things like that. So I had to book a one-on-one with Caroline. And that's the beautiful thing about Nexford, the fact that there is always support every single step of the way. And she took time to explain how to do the citations, how to use Microsoft Word for doing that and all of that. And it was really, really helpful. I, kind of, read up it as well. There are many support systems, there are many links that are given. So you can actually read up on it and do your assignments, and a lot of readings. I still have a lot of the videos from the readings. I've put on watch later on YouTube, and some of them I've even used in facilitating some of my training sessions and all of that. So it was really good for me. And so the BBA kind of set the tone. I was able to finish the BBA in 18 months. And that was because I was able to commit at least between 35 to 40 hours a week on this course. And that meant that I had very little sleep. So yes, I was also working, right now I'm traveling, I'm in an airport lounge, but when I was studying, if I'm sitting down at the airport lounge, even if I had 30 minutes or 1 hour, I'm going to be reading or doing an assignment or taking my notes and, quickly finish up my assignment. And then most times, to be able to complete that, I usually study from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. So all through my BBA, I had very little sleep. There was no sleep at all. So because by 5:30, I'm up again, I have to, if I have work or I had to work from home or I had to commute to somewhere. So I could do that, but it was really stressful and hectic. But I gave myself a timeline. And so when I finished that in July, I think, I registered for the MBA right away, and I started the MBA in September 2021. And again, yes, I was able to complete it in 4 months. And that meant taking 4 courses in 4 weeks. And I hope you understand what that means. 4 courses in 4 weeks. So that was practically no sleep at all. I was working round the clock. Every single minute I had was working on my assignments and delivering them. And the MBA isn't easy because, of course, like I said, I learned how to use Gantt charts. I learned how to, it was a whole new vista opening for me. So it was a beautiful experience, but really, I wish I can turn back the hands of the clock and have the canvas set up, because it makes it a little bit more easier. You can easily, the whole interface is beautiful. And I think that's the thing with Nexford. There's a continuous innovation, continually wanting to make sure that, there's huge support along the way for students. There's huge support for everybody. It's easy for you to get. The success advisors are phenomenal. I really want to say thank you to Ali Ford. She was amazing. I mean, she I'm sure at some point maybe she thought we were living next door, because it was every minute I was, sending her messages, and they were always responding. Even when she didn't respond, there was always somebody else that was responding and all of that. So for me, my experience was amazing. I gave myself a tough timeline. You don't have to do that. You can pace yourself. A course is supposed to finish in 8 weeks. So you can decide to pace yourself. But remember that I'm an older learner, and I also wanted to challenge myself, because then I lecture as well. So I also wanted to be able to have that back end feel of what it feels like being a student, and getting feedback from the professors. And I must say, Dr. Bill, you are one of the very amazing professors on this course, and that's not just because you're here. Your feedback was critical in ensuring that we're able to get our courses, our grades up, and get it right. And that goes for a lot of other of the professors as well on the program. So I'll stop there for now and take questions later.
Thanks a lot, Ini. I think you're inspiring a lot of people that are joining us today, truly. It's so great to hear about your learning experience. And you mentioned a lot of amazing things about the different kind of support a Nexford learner gets, so I'd love to show you guys a bit more about that as well. And for those asking for recording, I just want to remind you guys again that this is being recorded. So you're going to receive this in your mail, definitely. So don't worry if you need to dash out, if you're unable to continue the webinar, that's okay. As long as you've registered, you're going to be sent recording straight to your mailbox. And for anyone watching this later, you'd be probably watching it on YouTube, because this will also be uploaded there. All right, so you mentioned a lot about the writing lab, Ini, as well as Success Advisor. So let me tell you guys a bit about the writing lab. I mentioned it earlier, that it does help anyone with academic writing, and that you would meet your writing lab coach. So the bit that I didn't show you is that you can book a one-on-one meeting with Caroline Fernandez herself. So here's a little introduction, of course, on her. And if you click on this, it's going to take you to this page. So this is a booking page where you can book a 30-minute one-on-one call with Caroline herself. So you can address to her, of course, any questions, any concerns that you have. Just pick a day of the week, pick a timing, and then most importantly, put your details, and then you'll have booked a call with her. So this is one of the options you have, is to join her on a one-on-one call. Another option is that Caroline actually regularly holds these drop-in sessions with other learners. So if you would rather join a call with many other learners from around the world, I think that's a great option. I mean, many times we see up to 85 students, as you can see. Sometimes we see around 60 students. So she's quite active, in announcing these drop-in sessions. You'll get notifications for these, of course, in your email inbox, as well as on your mobile app if you have it. So I think this is a great option also if you want to hear the different questions and the different, ideas from other learners, as well as it's a great chance for you to meet them as well. So aside from booking a one-on-one with Caroline, you'll see here, this is where you get a lot of the answers and tips and tricks on, on writing. So I would definitely recommend you go through these here. These are quite, thorough. If you don't find your answer, then definitely reach out to Caroline. Right, and also in the navigation pane, which is always there, of course, if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see the success scheduler. So this is referring to those lovely success advisors that Ini was talking about. So they serve as sort of your coach or your mentor at Nexford. They're always there for you. We have a whole team of success advisors that you can reach out to 24/7. And so anytime you have any question related to your program, just click on Success Scheduler. It'll take you to this page, which is also a booking page to have a one-on-one call with any success advisor. So again, you can choose, of course, to, sorry guys, I think I'm having some connectivity issues. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you, Mike.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, all right, perfect. Right, so as you can see, if you click on Success Scheduler, it'll also take you to a similar booking page like the one I showed you for Caroline. Where you can have a one-on-one session with any success advisor. And while I'm on this page, these are some of the
Yeah, May, can you hear us? Chino, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dr. Bill.
Okay, obviously May's having a little problem, but I'll step in here for a minute and even open it up to questions about what we've covered so far. I do have access to the chat room, so if you have questions. I saw one question earlier that was addressing the issue of timing and things like that. And I want to reiterate that we, all of us here at Nexford are very used to working on a 24-hour clock. While assignments have deadlines, we all understand what is 11 o'clock in one place is a total different time in 23 other places around the globe. So it's definitely able to accommodate those type of things and those kind of adjustments. So that really is not a big issue for handling assignments, and all the professors that I'm aware of are very flexible. We understand that it happens, and we're all in different time zones too, so we stretch around the world just as well. I think May is back.
Yes, I am. So sorry about that, guys. This is literally the first time that this has happened. Thanks for taking over, Dr. Bill.
No problem.
I was last talking about the success team, as well as being able to book a one-on-one session with a success advisor through the success scheduler. So let me show you guys. Okay, so this is the page that if you were to click on success scheduler, it would take you right to this page. Just like the booking page for Caroline, here you can pick any day of the week, any timing, as well as the advisor of your choice. So you can pick your personal or dedicated success advisor, or you can actually pick anybody else from our team, and they'll be as happy as well to help you. One other way that you can also meet other learners is through the discussion forums. So these are actually in every course at Nexford. You'll find a discussion forum where you can post. So there would be many posts such as this. And this specific one is just an example of the introduction that you would give to yourself at the very beginning when you're having your orientation before you start your actual program. But these discussion forums, like I said, are embedded in every course. So it's one of the best ways that you can also introduce yourself. You can have a back and forth with other learners. You can post and comment on each other. Just regarding this, then I would like to ask, Chino, if you've had the chance throughout your program so far to make any friends, with Nexford learners around the world.
Yeah, so I think I was able to get in touch virtually online with a couple of learners. It all started by participating into the forum and the discussions. So like what May mentioned, in every module, there's an opportunity for you to share your thoughts, your views on a particular article or a lesson. And that gives you an opportunity to share your view as a person, right, as a learner. And then what's good about it is that invites conversation with your fellow learners. You get how each of the learners are trying to understand or giving their point of views. And in some cases also you learn from them. When in particular, let's say you have an assignment that talks about how to do business in developing markets compared to developed markets. Now you get to understand some of them who are living in those areas. They give real life experiences and real life lessons learned. So apart from what I'm trying to say is, apart from the learnings that you get on the modules, you learn from your learners as well. So I think that's something that I enjoy, and from time to time, I think a couple of my co-learners, I was able to get in touch with them. I think at the most one, I have a friend in LinkedIn as well who added me previously. So it's a good feeling, and even though you haven't met with your co-learner, I'm sure at some point you will, or you might. So that's what I love about it.
Amazing. Thanks a lot for sharing, Chino. Okay, and with that, we're nearing towards the end of our webinar. So the last thing I'd love to talk with you guys are the different sort of resources and benefits you have access to as a Nexford learner. So aside from the platform, you get a lot of other external benefits, which I'd like to show you guys. So first of all is the application for Canvas, which is one of the new best things I would say related to the online platform. So I'd love to show you guys that. Can you guys see this sort of mock-up of my mobile app? Yeah. So as you can see, I've actually gone and downloaded, the Canvas app, which you can find. It's not only for iPhone, guys, so it's also for Android. It's not only for Apple. So as you can see, I've logged in and I still have access to the same courses that you saw on the online platform. You have easy access right to the inbox here, where you can see any messages that you have. You can send out messages to your professor or your learners. And then you can see if I enter any course, for example, leadership and organizational development, we'll have super easy access to check your grades at any time as well. Of course, your calendar, as well as to-do list. Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, this is definitely also accessible on Android. Okay, so aside from being able, I'm sure Ini is feeling a little jealous now seeing the Canvas app. All right, so again, with the different benefits you'll have access to, you'll see that there's LinkedIn Learning in the navigation pane as well. So if you click on that, it'll take you to LinkedIn Learning. And if you haven't heard of that already, as an expert learner, you get access, free and unlimited access actually, to over 16,000 LinkedIn Learning courses and videos. So definitely if you want to be able to study on the side, maybe different topics that are not, related to your program, or they can be related, it's completely up to you. The great thing is if you have the time and you put in the work, you can get so many different other skills aside to your Nexford program. And you'll find that a lot of these courses are actually also embedded in the modules of your program. And of course, once you complete a course, you actually get a certificate of completion. So a lot of our learners love this, extra benefit as well. As you can see, you can, this is a way to show, your employer or your community, whoever, your followers, that you are learning on the go. You're not just waiting to complete your program. You're getting skills, all the time that you can apply right away to your job. And aside from that, you actually get digital badges from some courses at Nexford. So I wouldn't say all of the courses, but upon completion of some courses, you would receive a Nexford digital badge that some of our learners, as you can see, make it a hobby of sort of collecting these. And then they'll have these different fun names like data-driven decision maker. So for some people following you, they might not understand what exactly this entails, or what does it mean? What does data-driven decision maker mean, for example, or financial decision supporter? So the great thing is if you were to click on that, it'll take you to this page, an official page by Badger, which is sort of like your certificate, I would say, for the badge. Tells you when you received it and what the earning criteria was, what skills and competencies did you gain exactly to be able to be awarded this specific badge. And aside from that, finally, we have our career services portal. So this is something also we launched last year. You'll see here that it includes so many different things. So you actually get career planning sessions at Nexford. So you'll get to meet a career advisor. And of course, like I mentioned, there's LinkedIn Learning, which you get access to. If you're based in Africa, you also get unlimited access to IBM Digital Nation Africa, which has a ton of videos and information as well on more, I would say, IT or AI related topics or courses. And then again, we also have Localized, which is a great platform where you can get connected to career coaches and mentors around the world. You can also join virtual job fairs. You guys can have a look at that as well. It's localized.world. So that's one of the things also you get access to. And this is through which also you get to join those communities that I mentioned at the very beginning of the call. So different learning communities with different topics. And as I mentioned, you get a career advisor. And last but not least, we've also recently partnered with Forage. So this is a career resource to get virtual work experience at real companies like JP Morgan and Accenture. And it's a free resource that complements your learning as you get to apply skills you learn. Plus, you can choose to share your task submissions with recruiters, which can definitely lead to interview opportunities for internships as well. And the exciting thing of the fact that all of you guys are with us today on this call is that we have actually today just launched a brand new initiative. It's called the Global Grid. So it's a mentorship program to enable talent around the world to prepare for remote jobs. You're going to find you get access to some exclusive events, such as group mentoring sessions that are only open to NXU learners. But then again, there are live webinars that anybody can join. So these are where some of our mentors are from, and they were handpicked for their industry expertise, and they work in companies like Samsung and Coca-Cola. So definitely go to this page as well. It's one of the new exciting initiatives that we have. All right, and I think it's about time now for our Q&A. So before we jump to the Q&A, guys, I'd like to ask some final questions for from our learners. So Chino, can you tell us a bit about, your NXU learning journey? Like, what were some of your favorite parts and what were some of your challenges so far?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite parts are taking the exercises. Like I mentioned earlier, it will help you prepare with your graded assignments. So the way Nexford is trying to craft the pace of your learning is that they will be putting in some small exercises in between discussion forums and so on. And if you look back, going to your graded assignments, you'll get to understand that they're gearing you up towards having a better performance towards your grades. That's what I love about it. You're unconsciously be able to improve yourself heading to your final project, and once you go reach the final project, then you're a little more comfortable. I mean, that's what I enjoy about it. Another thing is I am able to apply my learnings right away at work. Like I mentioned, I like, for example, that there's a marketing course. So I'm an IT person. So basically nothing much about the other non-IT work that I have. But once I was able to appreciate the value of marketing strategy, go to market and things like that, I was able to apply it my work. So that's another bonus that you're getting in Nexford. You don't need to complete the course just for you to take the learning and apply it to outside world. You can take that anytime and anywhere as you go on with the courses. So yeah.
Okay, thanks. Chino, so what would you say is your final advice then for aspiring learners?
For my for the aspiring learners, I think if you're thinking twice, I'd say just go for it. I mean, Nexford is a very unique digital learning platform, and you will all have the time to enjoy it once you're in this digital university. Along with that is the learning that you're gonna get here in this platform, something that will last forever in your lifetime, because you can apply it in all aspects of your life, not just on your work. You can apply it in your personal life, in all sorts of anything in between, yeah, right? So my advice is just really go for it. If you're thinking twice, might as well, take a stab of it. Just look at the website of Nexford. There's a lot of testimonials there from MBA learners and those that graduated. A good example would be Ini. She's very inspirational. She finished it ahead, so I cannot do that. but I'm truly amazed.
Yeah, Ini's truly.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chino. Thank you so much. I think for me, again, one of the advice I've had to give a lot of learners. So I shared my experience on my LinkedIn page, and quite a number of people sent a number of questions. Please pace yourself. It's very important that you pace yourself, because you also don't want to just jump on taking 4 courses and then you're not able to meet up with your assignments. So let's take, for instance, you're taking 4 courses in a month and you want to finish that in a month. Give and take, that's about 24, if I'm not mistaken. Assignments that you have to submit in a month. And that can be quite, a lot. So pace yourself. If you can take 1 course in a month, that's fine. And if you can take it, you have an allowance of 8 weeks to take 1 course. So that's 2 months. So pace yourself according to your timing, according to what works for you, according to how you are also able to allot your time. Another advice, I see quite a number of questions, and some of these questions. So once you want to become an international learner, you must learn to use all the resources that are available at your disposal. So go on Google and check some of the questions that you're asking. And the beautiful thing about Nexford is that practically every question you want to ask has already been asked and answered on the website. So everything you want to, so I see someone asking a question around how do I download the Canva app on my laptop. Have you registered? Are you a registered Nexford learner? Because if you are, then all the links that you need to be able to download it will be sent to you. So some of those questions also, let's begin to think like you want to be able to check, because sometimes wanting to take the course, none of the success advisors are going to do your assignments for you or going to tell you how you are supposed to respond to an assignment. You will need to do a lot of reading. You will need to follow instructions on Nexford. And again, like I said, the Canva new Canva interface is so user-friendly, just looking at it. So most of the questions that you have are already answered, and you can still ask those questions from your success advisors, and every single time they're going to be helpful. And then one of the things that I found that, and I said it earlier, that the constant innovation. So I'm looking at the global grid, where you're now having mentors, you're now going to have a clear mentoring experience. I'm looking at the Forage. I just went ahead and opened the website on the Forage right now. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is so good, because I mean, for those of us that have been in strategy consulting for over 12 years, I mean, being a student and having that virtual experience of what strategy consulting is something that we didn't have in our time. And so it's so amazing to see the beautiful work that technology can be used to place the academy and to place learning in such a way that it makes it easy, it makes it reachable, and it makes it affordable. I think Nexford is one of the most affordable universities that you want. And for all the people asking questions around, oh, is it recognized? Yes, it is recognized. It is accredited, maybe in some states in America, but everywhere else, at least well in Nigeria, for the learners in Nigeria, it's very recognized. And then even for some people have asked around the English language, the evidence of English language and all of that. Nexford makes it so easy. So you are not fixated on getting an IELTS. There's another way that you can actually do it and gain and be able to show that you have the use of English, and then of course your earlier qualifications, if you have any, if they were done in English. I mean, Nexford just makes everything easy, and just to make it so convenient for you as a learner to get on. So my advice is get on it as soon as possible. Get your friends to get on it. It is one of the easiest and best and cheapest way to get an international degree, and an accredited one at that. So thank you again for having me here, May and Dr. Bill. Nice to see you again. And Chino, well done. I'm wishing you well. I'm rooting for you. I hope you're also able to finish on time.
Thank you, Ini. I hope so.
So much, Ini. Yeah, I couldn't have put it better myself. And that actually, I think it fits the questions that we actually need to start answering now. We got a couple of good questions here in the Q&A. So we do have a couple of questions, like you said, regarding tuition. So we have 2 questions here actually from Elizabeth. So the first is, how can we access tuition discount or scholarship? So as Ini said, we are actually one of the most affordable online American universities in the world. So, I would recommend you check out definitely our tuition page to learn more about the different tuition that we've tailored depending on, where you live in the world. But aside from that, we also have a scholarship page, which you can check out. Definitely reach out to our team at help@nexford.org. We're going to do our best to help you with, any concerns that you have. And like I said, because of the team of, success advisors and our success team, you're gonna see that we're there to help you also with scheduling. So if you happen to have a certain goal to finish your program faster, that's actually your second question. You said, I read the tuition is monthly based. So is it true that those that take in more than one course in a month can finish faster and actually pay less? So that's exactly what that is. So at Nexford, you pay, for the time that you're spending studying. So you can pay a fixed monthly tuition fee regardless of how many courses you take at the same time. So this means that if it's in your ability, if you can do it and take, more than one course at the same time, you can certainly finish faster, and you would only pay for the months that you spend studying, of course. So that would be very much like, I think, what Inni did as well. But it's important to keep in mind that in order to be able to add, more than one course, you need to also keep up a certain grade. So the higher that your grade is, the more courses that you can take on, which is the maximum of being able to take on 4 courses at the same time. All right, we have a question from Benny Lubemba. He says, is there a program to award outstanding students after exams? So at the moment, no, Nexford doesn't have distinctions for graduates. We do recognize our learners' achievements, of course, by awarding digital badges on specific courses designed with certain skill sets, like I showed earlier today. We have another question from Abu Sede, who says, when is the start time? Can I start by May, for instance? Definitely you can. The great thing is our intakes start at the 1st of each month. So you can apply anytime and choose a program start date that suits you. Okay, we have another question also here from John Ibisi from Nigeria. He says, is this university accredited and recognized worldwide, and can the school fees be paid in installments? So yes, we're licensed by HELC, which is the Higher Education Licensing Commission in Washington, D.C. And it's the same organization that licenses all physical universities operating in D.C. We're also accredited by ASIC, which is a UK-based international organization. You'll see that Quality Matters has also certified our courses for quality. We're recognized by CMI, and we're an educational member of the International Accreditation Council for Business Education. So you'll find all this information and much more if you go to our accreditation page. And as for can the fees be paid in installments? Certainly. So you have the option to pay monthly, or you can pay every 2 months or every 6 months. So whichever option you choose, you can always change it anytime. Just let our team know whatever suits you. And actually, if you're able to pay more months in advance as well, you can check with our team. There may be a discount available as well. We have a great question from Jose, who says, will Nexford University offer other degree programs in the future, such as health sciences, information technology, etc.? At the moment, I won't be able to confirm, which programs Nexford plans to add, but it's definitely in the works. Nexford is already working, hopefully, on adding new programs in the future. It's not clear yet, however, which types of programs we're going to be adding. Okay, I have a question from Adebowale. How can one complete an MBA in 6 or 8 months? I intend to do this. I think I can give this question to Ini. Would you be able to answer this?
I think I had answered it. And I think that, it still goes back to the point that I'm saying, how much time can you commit? It depends on how much time you can commit. Like I said, I stay up from 10 p.m. in the evening. So I walk around all my schedule. Remember, I'm a chief executive. I'm a lecturer as well. I train, so I travel quite a bit. And then, of course, I'm a mom, I'm a wife as well. So that is a whole lot going on back there. But for the days that I have to study and, do my assignments, I start studying. So in a whole week, maybe from Sunday to Sunday, I stay up from 10 p.m. in the night to 4 a.m. in the morning. So I catch maybe an hour or two of sleep, which is not so. Again, I'm saying this is not advisable because depending on your health, depending on your own circumstances. So the question you should ask yourself first is, do I have the time to commit as much to be able to deliver on my assignments? The assignments are not easy. Some of them have several parts. Some of them, like you are drawing up case analysis, you're thinking new ideas, you're creating abstract solutions, just to give a clear information to your prof that you understand this case, you understand how to apply it to reality or to your everyday work. So it's not one of those things that if you're used to, just delivering subpar assignments, you're not going to get that, except you want to fail a course and repeat it and have to pay for that. So you need to first of all ask yourself, do I have the time to commit to being able to make sure that I'm doing my assignments and delivering? There's no time frame. That the assignments have specific dates, and you are giving 2 weeks for each assignment to be able to deliver on them. So you need to be able to ask yourself that question. And once you're able to say, yes, I can do that, then you can go ahead. It's possible to complete it in 6 months. It's possible to complete it in 8 months. It's also possible to stretch it and complete it taking one course a month and do that in 13 months if you have a specialization. And if you don't have a specialization, I think in 10 or 11 months, you should be able to complete that. So space yourself. I mean, not every one of us is going to be able to run at the same speed. I was able to do it because for most of the assignments, I'm using real life examples that I have had to go through with over 22 years of working experience. So I'm able to visualize what it is. And I'm a consultant. I've been a strategy consultant for over 12 years. So I'm thinking of it in the light that if I were to present this case to my client, how would I do that? And even at that, you also need to understand that the rubrics, what your professor is looking for from the assignment has to also be something that you are able to deliver on. So think about it, and then at the end of the day, you make the decision for yourself.
One thing I would add to it, I agree with everything Ian just said. I would just add one thing. It is also a combination and also an issue here that it's not necessarily how fast you can write. It's a matter of how fast you can learn the materials that go along, and everybody has a different learning pace. So I would love to do things quick and get them done, but it depends on how I learn and how I absorb the material. So it's a combination of things that will determine if that pace is possible, and it certainly is.
Yeah, definitely. That's perfect the way you put it. You guys, it's important to understand really what you can and can't do, let's not set unrealistic goals. Like it's understandable. A lot of you would want to finish it fast. But again, as we mentioned throughout the call, you will also have a success advisor who will help you with scheduling. And so I think very, very soon you'll understand what is possible and what isn't. And also when you go faster, like Ini said, there are assignment deadlines. So while you can go faster, there are certain deadlines you need to meet to be able to complete the course as well. And we have a question here from Wisnu who says, what would happen if you miss your assignment's deadline? Should we retake the module? Can you answer this, Dr. Bill?
Well, we take you out and hang you or something. I don't know. No, all of us that teach here have been in the online environment. Things happen. Time zones. I've had students just yesterday, they were sent out on their job to a remote region of their country and had no internet. Okay. We're not delivering blood supplies here. We're not delivering oxygen. It's a paper. We're flexible. Okay. Now, if you take the flexibility and use it every week and week after week after week, that might become an issue. But if you have a business issue, a family issue, a child is sick, a parent is ill, we get around that. 99.9% of the time, there's a solution to it in my experience at Nexford. So relax with it. Don't get upset if your internet goes down. We just had it with May here. It happens all the time. We're used to that. Don't fret that. Don't be overly concerned about it. I get messages, oh, Dr. Bill, I submitted it 4 minutes late. Am I going to lose points? No, it's that we're adults here. We don't have to do that.
Perfect. Thanks a lot.
And I just wanted to say that, I mean, what Dr. Bill has said is really true, and I've had to experience that. Because I remember when I first started, I mean, I had a terrible experience. It was December of 2020. A lot of people were really reeling from, the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, most people, we had a lot of deaths. My domestic assistants had to travel, so I had a terrible, terrible family time that December, and I definitely was going to miss the deadline for one of the assignments, and I had to send an email to one of the professors, and it was not a nice experience because he gave a very sexist reply and all of that, and I made a report to the university, and I want to say it here that it was taken up. It was taken up very seriously, and yes, I failed the course. Because of that one assignment, I failed the course and I had to retake that course. I wasn't happy about it, but at least I know that the university took it. So again, just to let you know that the university takes into consideration the well-being and the welfare of students. And again, as Dr. Bill said, we are human beings and we will have those times, but it has to be something that is critical, that you don't have to take it for granted that, oh, I'm unable to deliver this assignment because I was traveling. You should be able to plan your work. You should be able to plan your time. That's not a valid excuse I'm speaking as a lecturer as well. But the university makes sure that, you have a medical emergency, there's a family emergency or something. Of course, you can always inform your prof ahead of time and even speak with your success advisor. Again, for everything, I think that Nexford is, I must say, A++ when it comes to the support that it gives to its learners.
Thank you so much, Ini. Yeah, so really we understand that life happens. So if at any point, you have any, issue or any, serious life matter that is sort of affecting your ability to continue your course, definitely reach out to our team. We also offer the option for you to take a leave of absence. You're going to have a certain amount of leave of absences that you can take depending on the program that you're in. So guys, this is all the questions that we can take for today. I know some of you have stuck, past the 1 hour. So I thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us today. Thank you so much for the questions that you sent in. And if you have more questions, please reach out to our team at help@nexford.org. No matter what your question is, it's our help team who are going to be able to address it to the proper team depending on the question, of course. So again, this is being this will be sent to your mailbox. So in case you missed any of it, you can always watch the playback. And again, thank you guys so much for joining us today. And thank you so much, Dr. Bill, Chino, and Ini. You guys are fantastic. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.